When the gate drops, it just tells me I gotta get out front and I gotta lead. It just exhilarates me. It's my favorite thing to do.
Motocross rider Wyatt Krampitz says, in many ways, he grew up on the racetrack.
I've been riding since I was a little boy. I started racing when I was 10 years old.
Wyatt is very good at what he does, with so many winners' cups and trophies that they've overflowed into the family's mechanic shop. This past season, he even qualified for a coveted spot at the Loretta Lynn National Amateur Championships near Nashville, Tennessee, which is also where his career nearly ended.
It was July 25th, 2015.
His life nearly ended as well.
I said Wyatt again, and I heard him moaning. He was breathing. He didn't have a shirt on, so I could see his stomach breathing. It was very shallow.
In his small camper on the racetrack campgrounds, Wyatt was overcome by the exhaust fumes of surrounding motorhomes and their generators.
At this time, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why he was not waking up.
Paramedics immediately recognized Wyatt's symptoms as carbon monoxide poisoning and rushed him to the hospital. His mother, Paulette, recalls being given a very grim prognosis.
Wyatt wouldn't have a quality of life. He wouldn't function right. He wouldn't be, maybe not even wake up.
After 4 days, Wyatt finally opened his eyes. A week and a half later, he was flown to Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota.
I don't really remember much of it.
When he first came home, he would, every half hour it was, "What happened to me?"
Carbon monoxide poisoning basically removes oxygen from the body, and it puts parts of the body that are very oxygen sensitive at risk.
You name a system in the brain or a performance, physical or cognitive performance area, and anyone can be affected.
The motocross rider with lightning-quick reflexes had suddenly lost his coordination and sense of balance. His short-term memory and cognitive functions were impaired. There would be a lot of hard work ahead, but Wyatt had help from a diverse team of therapists.
Okay, so odds and evens.
Rehabilitation specialists that are focused on cognitive performance, thinking, memory, planning, executive function. But there are others that are more focused on specific motor planning and relearning of motor function and mobility and specific aspects of sitting and balance and gait.
Brain rehabilitation specialist Dr. Alan Brown says while there are some common impairments associated with carbon monoxide poisoning, therapy has to be tailored to each individual because no two patients are exactly the same. Improving their brain performance, he says, requires 3 key elements.
These behaviors are task specific. To sort of sustain these connections, it's important to be repetitive over and over and over and over.
That one was easy.
Easier than the last one.
Ideally, it is willful. Someone needs to initiate it themselves with direction commonly, certainly at the beginning.
Perfect. Good.
Which also means a determined patient is more likely to succeed.
I need to do whatever they tell me what I have to do.
You got to understand motocrossers, they have a determination like no other.
Look at those jumps.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah, I had every jump there.
That is incredible.
Dr. William Brown says Wyatt's eyesight has improved dramatically since his first evaluation several months ago. Initially, there were concerns about his peripheral vision, ability to focus, and dark spots in his field of view, all common effects in cases of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Read this one for me. It can affect the blood vessels that feed the eye because the blood vessels are not carrying the oxygen that they need to. So it can affect the retina, it can affect the optic nerve.
I want to get back out there.
While Wyatt's passion was not affected by his accident, he is well aware his sport demands peak performance by all other systems.
You have to be focused completely and know what you want to do out there.
Where he's come from and where he's at now, we're very thankful and very grateful, and we see changes all the time. And when you meet the therapist, they'll even tell you they're just very encouraged about his progress.
For the Mayo Clinic News Network, I'm Dennis Douda.